Hey everybody, thanks for joining us. We're doing a bit more of the esoteric stuff with angels and deities and spirits and holy names. Let's continue with the Q&A and open it up to a bit more of the esoteric questions. I would also include any of the materialization processes in with this. So go ahead and fire away.
And you can unmute yourself, you can type in questions. If you have a private question you don't want everyone to see, type it over to me at Samantha Durfee. Make sure you guys can actually hear us. If no one's typing a question, talk really quick.
Hello, can you guys hear us? We're not sure if the sound is working.
Okay, good.
We're good? Okay. Any sort of questions? If not, I'll just do a guided protocol, but
I don't know what to ask, but maybe talk about Archangel Sandalphon.
sure.
And then we do have a question after that too.
Okay. So Sandalphon is considered the twin of Metatron. So Metatron being the king of angels or king of archangels, and is tied to bringing in essence, bringing things from the other side, through essence or pure energy with consciousness. And so Sandalphon is associated with the basic chakra. So it is actually tied to the form. And so it is the aspect of the energy body that has to do with like the form of the physical body, your physiology, but also your thought processes. And so Archangel Sandalphon would be the archangel associated with that. And so by working with the Archangel Sandalphon, you're making your physiology, your anatomy, and also lower mental faculties more conductive to the essence coming in. And so Archangel Sandalphon is also associated with the word, the essence comes in, but you could also say the Archangel Sandalphon is associated with the frequency of the creative process, as well as the archangel associated with helping to facilitate our prayers being heard. Now, when you say something like that, it makes it sound like this angel takes the prayer and takes it up to God or whatever. But part of what happens when we're being conductive, when we're praying, if you look at, like, if you're praying to Christ, if you're praying to Buddha, if you're praying to Shiva, these are great beings that their energy body is the size of the planet. We're basically swimming in the energy body of these great beings. And so basically what's happening is we're becoming more conductive for that prayer to be heard by these great beings that were already in their energy body. So we're basically becoming conductive so that their energy or essence can penetrate our form and begin to physicalize. So you see this even with in different traditions where they say Amen, Amin, Amun, or in the Egyptian tradition they'll say Amen Ra. Part of that is breaking up calcified energies to help allow this energy to physicalize into the form, but it also helps facilitate deeper levels of realization. And so even working with the Archangel Sandalphon, it's tied to deeper levels of realization. So the ones that did the class over the weekend, we were going through and we we're unwinding different patterns, unwinding the 7 layers of the energy body. And people started saying that they were having flashes of intuition, of clairvoyance, things like this. Part of that is that conductive component being highly stimulated. You're allowing for deeper levels of realization to happen as you make the physical body, specifically the basic chakra, like more pliable, more flexible, more open to, even when we say allostasis, part of what we're making have allostasis is the basic chakra itself. The arms and legs also being extensions of this. And so any version of that, you're helping that. And we did the weekend class, but we're going to be exploring this to an even higher degree through the study group that's going to start a week from tomorrow. As we finish up the 99 names of the 99 aspects of the heart. Tomorrow will be the last 3. And then the following week, we're going to start going deeper into the Sandalphon healing technique and making the basic chakra more pliable so that it can handle greater levels of essence and bigger shifts in consciousness and awareness. So.
Go ahead, Paula.
Hey, Paula.
Oh, hi.
How's
Thank
New
you.
Mexico? How's that fire going? Is that fire
Oh,
like died down?
it's hot and it's smoky. It's not great.
Is that fire still going on and on?
Yes, there's several fires.
Oh God,
Um,
that's just craziness.
yeah, it's very dry. We did get like 2 drops of rain yesterday, but it's been about 80 days without any moisture, so everything is so
Wow.
vulnerable. And it's windy, so it's not helping things.
Do they have that fire controlled at all?
They do have it controlled, but it's, with the winds, every day is a different scenario.
Wow.
And they've got a fire down south also, so we're kind of surrounded right now. And then there's one in Arizona, so it's just, there's a lot of heat.
So your question's about anxiety?
Sure.
I'm joking, but it's not really a joke. It's like, boy, that's got to be anxiety producing if I've ever.
It's bringing us down to an essential level of getting along with one another.
Yeah, I bet.
My question is,
Mhm.
I haven't followed all of every single angel event or class.
Sure. That's okay.
And I've actually, I missed the Sandalphon course as well. I'm still able to appreciate all of this teaching. It's not like I've got to go back and, basically these classes that you're offering all have an essential piece, which
Yeah.
is purification.
Yeah.
And then depending on, what, I guess, what organ or system, or
Mhm.
if you're get into something esoteric, you're going to focus on that. So I guess my question is, going back to the basics, what can I do going back to the basics if I haven't taken all of these angel classes? Because this is huge, like, making the basic more pliable.
Yeah.
Do I just jump right into that, or is there some
Yeah,
other?
you could jump right into that. I mean, so there's a couple of things to always kind of keep in mind when doing any of the angel work. And so, each of the angel things are real specific sometimes to the angels and everything, but there's like some core things to always kind of look at. And one is the materialization process, the materialization breath that we do. That is a very big piece, because that is tied to, for one, activating the heart, integrating something into the heart, but that materialization breath. And again, just to revisit, like, you're holding an oil to the chest, you inhale, you hold your breath, move your head up, exhale, hold your breath, back down, inhale, up, exhale. So as you go through and you do that, part of what's happening is you're stimulating the blue pearl. You're stimulating the pineal gland. And so anytime you're working with angels, spirits, deities, any sort of component with that, you're not just doing materialization, you're actually materializing light. And so, you know, you're bringing light into the situation. And so the idea of working with angels is about bringing light into, you know, situations. I mean, they are literally beings of light. And so by going through and doing devotional practices to different aspects or different angels, you're cultivating different aspects of bringing in the light. You're also cultivating different levels or awareness of God or the planetary logos. But the core piece of that is to practice the materialization breath. And it can look, I mean, it can be about angels, it could be about a project. You know, the goal is, like, when you're doing it to a project, a lot of times it's something that you're struggling with or you're having difficulty with. You could also do it for healing, both for yourself or for somebody else. And if you think about what is happening when you're doing that, is you're looking at a situation that is difficult and is lacking light. You're focusing on it, and you're doing the materialization process, and you're literally trying to bring light into this situation that has, you know, more darkness in it, right? And so you're literally beginning to bring light into a situation that is darkness, and you're dispersing the darkness or the ignorance with being a vessel or a channel of light. And so anytime you're going through and you're doing that process for whatever the motivation is, it could be, you know, healing, it could be a goal, it could be a project, it could be about your finances, it could be a relationship, it could be a deity, it could be connecting with an angel, whatever it is, you're always stimulating that process. And so by going through and doing that, that is always, like, if you just said, like, I got 15 minutes, what can I do? That is a solid thing to do. Like, I pretty much, I would say, I might not do that one every day, but I do it 5-6 days a week. Like, I mean, I do it quite a bit. And so that would be a component. And then opening up the arms and the legs. And the reason to open up the arms and the legs is the arms and legs are extensions of the basic chakra. So you are helping to make the basic chakra more pliable. So, you know, putting mugwort on the joints, putting Palo Santo on the joints, putting Gilead on the joints. You know, I sometimes even will do, excuse me, like spikenard or vetiver on the joints. You can rotate them around. Chakra root cleanser on the joints. All of these things are super helpful for making the basic chakra more pliable. Other ones could be sandalwood, could be frankincense, could be rose or jasmine on the joints, could also be helpful. And so, you know, by going through and doing these processes, it just helps shift the essence that we're always attracting. Because, like, a lot of times when we think of like stagnation in our life or patterns in our life, it's basically a stagnation of essence. Or the flip side of that is the form has gotten rigid and inflexible that doesn't allow for a different kind of essence to come in. So the form is always attracting whatever essence of, like, wherever it's at, you know. So if it's a super low vibration, where it's at, you know, the basic chakra or the form, then the essence that it attracts is low vibration. If it's really flexible and allows for a lot of shift and change to come in, then it attracts a much higher essence that is a bit more dynamic. And so by going through and doing this on a regular basis, even if you were to boil down and go, okay, I'm only going to do so much, what can I do? that would be a big component. And you know, that was something that we're going to touch on even over the weekend. Is, you know, we're talking about how to treat a bunch of different conditions. I was also going to do just a short form of working with angels. This is the 10-minute version of working with angels, you know, and it basically is the materialization breath, open up the arms and legs. And so you can work with whatever angel you want or whatever deity or spirit, but the mechanics would just be like short and to the point. And then, you know, like if you wanted to deepen that practice, you have a couple of choices, right? You have a couple of choices. So you could put like frankincense and myrrh on the temples. You could also use like something like poplar on the temples. Poplar, like poplar, frankincense, aloes, sandalwood, vetiver, spikenard, rose. All of these are myrrh, saffron. All of these are really good at making the basic chakra like more flexible, right? More flexible. Poplar and aloes are probably the best at it, but all of them work, right? All of them work. Now, you could also be putting those up here on the temple, because as you put them up on the temple, it affects your prefrontal cortex, and it impacts your hypothalamus, right? And the hypothalamus really starts to affect how the endocrine system and the nervous system are communicating with each other. And a lot of our thought processes are how the endocrine system functions through the brain or through the nervous system. A lot of our mental processes are just that. Like it's just endocrine functioning through the brain, you know? And so even that starts to shift the mind. But you know, there was a class that we did, I didn't really make a big deal out of it. It was kind of a heavy duty class, but it was in, boy, when was it? I want to say it was in October, and it was the class, what was it? Sharanagati, right? The science of conductivity, right? And so it had the aspects of like the 12 elements or the 12 elementals, right? And so different than like what you would call the elementals of, you know, earth, water, wind, or air, and fire, you know, those kinds of things, which we'll be talking about in the 4 directions class coming up in July. You know, we're going to do the 4 directions and the 4 elements and archangels and some alchemical processes with the planets. And so somewhat different, but those 12 elements are tied to the 4 elements, like earth, water, fire, air, are tied to the elements of the earth, right? Those 12 elements are tied to the elements of the word, of the frequency, right? And so when you start putting those like on the temples, it starts to dramatically change the amount of light that comes through you. And so, you know, we dabbled with it in that class. We tried to help make things more conductive, but as you keep putting that on the temple and you rotate them, you know, because there's 12 of them, it dramatically changes the amount of light that you bring into these different situations. And it almost gets to the point where you don't even have to do the materialization breath as much, because it's like it gets the momentum going, and then just kind of almost wherever you put your attention, light starts going into those different situations. And so the reason that I didn't make a big deal out of it, like in the class, is sometimes there can be so much movement or so much dynamic activity that it can be almost a little bit overwhelming to somebody because there's so much movement and activity. You know, it's like it causes shifts, it causes change, and if there's some difficulty in the situation, it kind of brings it to the surface. And I wouldn't say in a bad way, but it's like it has to be like kind of addressed. Like you can't just go, I'm just going to ride the coattails of the situation and phone this in for a little bit. It's like, nope, it has to be addressed. It has to be dealt with. And so I didn't really push the class super hard, but you know, that's one we are going to circle around and be talking about as a little bit of time goes by. But even if you just started doing, you know, one of those elements, you know, a day or a week, and just putting it on the temple and then just letting it be, um, it changes the mental processes quite substantially. And you just keep becoming more and more aware of the light within. And in external situations, you start to become more and more aware of when situations are lacking light. And that's the whole idea with the materialization process is, you know, you're bringing light into these situations, and when there's light lacking, to be able to recognize it. Like sometimes when I'm in like a business situation, like when I'm doing corporate work, a lot of times I'm in industries that I don't have a background in. Like I you know, I can clairvoyantly look at something, or I can scan something or whatever, but part of what I do is I just sit and I watch what people are saying, and I'm watching to the words that are being said and the thought forms that are being presented, and I'm just watching for what has light, what doesn't have light. And there's times where people will have this big like opinion about something, and there's this and there's that, and it's like no light in it whatsoever. So bunch of facts, it sounds really good on paper, but there's literally no light in it. So you know, light being in this situation equaling truth, the lack of light being ignorance. And so there can be an accumulation of facts, but the theory is not accurate, right? And so all of this is tied to the cultivation of these components. And so if you were just to boil down, like, how could I work with angels on a regular basis, or just deepen the spiritual practice or the spiritual side of it, materialization breath, open up the arms and legs, and then eventually those 12 elements on the temples.
All I gotta say right now is wow and big kisses, because you know, I ask one thing and then, you know, it's just like I'm a sponge. Every single word that you say has so much depth and so much light to it. It's you've answered so much, and I'm just so grateful. I'm grateful that you allow this platform that we can join and share and get some illumination in whatever ways we're able to. Thanks for meeting me here.
Yeah, thank you. You're so
and,
sweet.
and,
And a lot of what we're doing in all these different classes are just we're doing like different facets of the same thing. Like, you know what I mean? Like we're
yes,
working the part of the immune system, but how it has to do with being a channel of light, and how, like, then we're doing some endocrine function, but how it deals with, you know, bringing in light or expansion of conscious. You know, it's always like kind of unwinding some of the conditioning to get us to this place. But like if you think about it, there's always kind of some themes in all the different classes, and a lot of it is always like bringing in light, stimulating the blue pearl, making the basic more pliable, more flexible, and becoming more aware of the light within. Like if you were to boil any of it down, almost every class you could go, yeah, there's those four components. You know, there might be a little bit of something else in there, but those things are almost always present.
just fantastic. You know, and it's weird coming from a Catholic, you know, background. recovering Catholic.
Yes,
I just I haven't been able to, the angel thing seems so far away and so,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
so
yeah.
I'm so,
Well,
so
you know how
grateful.
they get around it is they do the saints. They
Yes,
instead of doing angels, they do saints.
Saint Michael.
Yeah, yeah,
Yes,
yeah. Or you know, any of them, they're still doing these different aspects of God, but instead of it being an angelic being, they're doing it through cultivating connections to different saints. You know, if you go to, you know, there's the church, the St. Francis Cathedral, or maybe it's not a cathedral, but the church downtown right outside that plaza in Santa Fe.
yes.
So if you go and you walk around, like on the walls, you'll see there's pictures of blue balls.
Huh.
There's
I,
there's blue balls. It's associated with the blue pearl. And then if you go to the basin, the tub, there's
it's the
the,
baptismal
the
font or, yeah.
yeah, there's the bull, the angel, the eagle, and the lion. And those are all associated with the development of the blue pearl. You know, they're all associated with the forehead.
One more, and I apologize for being.
So I guess my point was like, even though we're recovering Catholics, it was ingrained in us, like within the teachings, they just didn't use the same terminology.
I have one more question. On your powders that you
Mhm.
formulated, I've put that on my temples. Is that
Yeah, oh yeah, that's super good. That helps to make the basic more pliable, because you know that has a big component of aloes in it,
oh, good.
and it's got some camphor, and it's got, you know, got a little bit of other things, but it's a lot of aloes, like different grades of aloes. And you know, traditionally those are used in yoga, and so used to help make the basic chakra more pliable for then going through and doing the yoga postures. And so I like using them without doing the yoga. I just like put them on, and then, you know, because
Oh,
they last a really long time. Like you can really smell them for quite a while.
yes, they're beautiful, beautiful. Thank you so very
You're
much.
so welcome.
Thank you.
Yeah, well, we hope to make it out there here sometime very soon.
Yeah, you keep promising.
Yeah, I know. I keep promising and promising, but I think we're shooting for September or October.
Well, okay, you know where I'm at.
Okay,
Thank you.
you're so welcome.
Is there a protocol or oil to help connect with Isis?
Isis, you know, I thought I made one. Let me see. Hold on. Yeah, Isis would be a good one. I thought I made one, but maybe I didn't. Yeah, apparently I didn't make one. You know, I'll come up with one. Off the top of my head, I don't know right now, but I'll go through and I'll pull that together and I'll present it to you guys over the weekend.
Thanks, Greg. This is Danelle.
Hey, hey.
I appreciate it.
Yeah,
I've
yeah.
been kind of connecting quite a bit with her.
Uh-huh.
I'm doing an apprenticeship on shamanism, and the teacher is talking about Egyptian shamanism for the past couple of months. So yeah, I've been really kind of connecting in with Isis. I was just curious.
Yeah, so you know, esoterically, a lot of times they say, you know, Mother Mary is most likely Isis as well. And so, like,
Mhm.
you know, you have the sightings of the Black Madonna. according to esoteric teachings, the Black Madonna was the parents of Isis. But still, like, even if that's the case, sometimes these great beings, they're different facets. And so even though we might have something for Mary, I still like to go down the rabbit hole of cultivating some sort of connection to the different facets, because that they're the same being or not doesn't kind of matter to me. It's like, it's more about that there's just different facets or different aspects to these beings, whether they are the same or not. It doesn't matter to me. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I still would like to cultivate the different aspects. And so, sometimes in the Buddhist tradition, they'll say some of the components of Tara are kind of like an aspect of like Kuan Yin and Mary
Mhm.
and Isis. But even there, it's like there's the different components of Tara, but still I'd like to go down the rabbit hole of doing something that's very specific to Isis, that's in our consciousness or awareness. So I'll come up with something by weekend.
Awesome. Thank you.
Yeah.
I love the idea of a 10 to 20-minute daily practice suggestion.
Yeah, so we're going to be doing a couple of things starting next week, and one of them is just in the newsletter and in some of the evening study groups. We're going to be talking about the thing I'm just going to call morning ritual, and like a little way to spend 5 or 10 minutes, maybe doing a protocol, maybe doing incense, maybe doing a little reflection, and doing something a little bit different than what we've been doing, and just making it so that it's something easy to do, like as you're sitting there having your breakfast or your cup of coffee or just getting ready for the day. And then also, like, be it that it's morning or evening, we're going to do a thing called daily practice, and something that's just really short and to the point, and something that you can do on a regular basis without having to go through and do a bunch of protocols and things like that. And so morning ritual and daily practice are things that we're going to start doing starting next week.
I put the link in so you guys can see what those powders are. And then I guess if nobody else has anything, we do have 10 more minutes.
Yeah, so let's do this. So if you have an angel blend or something that you would like to use, let's go through and just revisit the materialization breath. If you don't have an angel blend that you'd like to work with, think of an angel and just let's have you pick up an oil that you feel connected with, be it a single oil of some sort. And contemplate whatever angel blend that you have. Contemplate the angel. If you have a single oil, contemplate the angel you would like to work with. And as you're contemplating them, your awareness is on your front heart. And with your awareness on your front heart, just start taking some long, slow, deep breaths. Your awareness is on your front heart. You're taking long, slow, deep breaths. And then your chin down to your chest. Inhale, your bottles to your chest. You're going to inhale, hold your breath, head up, exhale, head down, inhale, 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 head up, exhale, down, inhale, up, exhale, down, inhale, up, exhale, down, inhale, up, exhale. Just be still. Now, think of a difficult situation in your life. It could just be something simple like, I don't know, relationship, something with somebody at work, just a goal that you have for the end of the week or this month or health issue. And as you contemplate it, your awareness is on your heart, the center of your chest. Keep thinking about the situation. Just whatever pops into your mind, just let it kind of settle in. Your awareness is on your front heart. Put the bottle to your chest, your chin down. Inhale, head up, exhale. Head down, inhale, head up, exhale. Head down, inhale, head up, exhale. Inhale, up, exhale. Down, 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 inhale, up, exhale. Just be still. Just be still. Okay, thanks for joining us tonight. We're gonna be joining the Astara blessing the prayer petitions here in just a couple of minutes. You're more than welcome to join us if you'd like, just to flesh out a little bit more. But starting next week, we are going to be doing the morning ritual and the daily practice that we'll be making little videos and little things that will go into the newsletter for the week, and little contemplations and things. And so, yeah, we'll be following along and kind of tapping into what Paula was asking about and talking about. So